Her career is an example of an American Cinderella story. Her acting skills captivate the most demanding directors. She's not afraid to test herself and boldly accepts challenges. Margot Robbie. She confidently ascended the Hollywood Olympus. There are talent, determination, and charisma in her every movement. Why doesn't the actress like to be alone? Why did she slap Leonardo DiCaprio? And what role does she hate? Welcome to the Biographer channel. Let's begin.
Thought being famous was gonna be fun.
The story of Margot Robbie began in an Australian resort town. The future actress was born on July 2, 1990, in the small town of Dalby in Queensland, best known as a tourist center. Her father, farmer Doug Robbie, did not live long with the children. When Margot was 4 years old, he left the family, leaving his wife with 4 children. I grew up in a very loud, busy house, and so I feel safe and comfortable when there is chaos around me. She says, I think it's why I love movie sets. Mom, Sari Kessler, was a physiotherapist who worked with the elderly and children with disabilities. After the divorce, she took care of Margot and her 3 brothers and sisters, Lachlan, Cameron, and Anya, whom she raised and provided for on her own. Recalling quarrels with her brothers and sister, the actress said, "How did our mom do it? 4 unbearable children. Her energy still amazes me. I always wanted to be like her." Perhaps because of a cool childhood, the actress does not like loneliness. She spent weekends and holidays with friends and a noisy company, and you will never see Robbie hiding in the trailer between 2 scenes on set. The actress likes to communicate with the entire film crew. During the holidays, the children lived with their grandparents, where Robbie learned how to chop wood and take care of the household. Margot knew how to drive a tractor and milk cows, but she secretly dreamed of a movie, which she loved very much. I was into Goldie Hawn and watched her movies endlessly. I also liked The Fifth Element by Luc Besson. But I didn't even know who Martin Scorsese, Wes Anderson, Jacques Audiard were. For example, I discovered Citizen Kane much later. The future actress did not have relations with her father. Mom became a role model. Therefore, it is not surprising that Margot has the attitude of working hard and persistently achieving her goal. At school, she attended all kinds of extracurricular activities: rowing, dancing, drama, and softball. Over time, she developed a passion for surfing. She told Vanity Fair that she thought she might be a magician, but an interest in drama in high school led her to Melbourne and a kids' show, The Elephant Princess, co-starring the up-and-coming Liam Hemsworth. In addition, in the summer, Margot studied at the circus school in the trapeze class. According to her, she sometimes continues to practice it.
I've also done it since.
Really?
Because on the Santa Monica Pier you can do trapeze there, and on the pier in New York you can do trapeze there.
Really?
I actually love trapeze.
After leaving school, Margot entered the private Somerset College. To pay for her studies and help her mother, she began working at 16 years old at 3 jobs: a saleswoman in a shop on the beach, a waitress, and a maid. Margot spent the money on acting classes and a ticket to Melbourne. I was very scared and knew I had leapt over the unknown. As soon as I get depressed, I can't just go home for the weekend. It was too far. In Melbourne, I felt like I was in a foreign country. From that moment on, she was torn between studies, endless auditions, and work as a sandwich seller at Subway. It allowed Margot to make ends meet. Hope shone on the horizon. Despite external attractiveness, Margot's first roles were minor. Her name was not even mentioned in the credits. She had to cope without the help of a personal agent, and therefore Margot learned about all the news and castings from friends or ads. In 2007, the actress was finally noticed. It was the famous Australian director Ash Aaron who offered the aspiring actress her first significant role in the 2008 action movie Vigilante. Also, Margot appeared as a guest in 2 episodes of the Australian children's TV series The Elephant Princess as Butterfly, and starred in several commercials. The continuation of the collaboration between Robbie and Aaron was the thriller ICU, which was released the following year. At the time of the film about serial killers, the girl was only 17 years old. Meanwhile, Margot got to the casting of the series Neighbours, which was successfully passed. She did not believe so much that she would get into the popular series, so after the casting, she went to rest with her boyfriend in Canada. There, in between the conquest of the mountain peaks, she received a message that she had passed on one of the new roles. Margot became Donna Friedman, a student fashion designer. The actress devoted 3 years of her life to the series. filming 5 days a week for 17 hours.
I thought those letters were for me.
Donna's kiss with a female friend stirred controversy, though she remained a viewer favorite and was nominated for the prestigious Australian Logie Awards. But local film studios were too few for a young, ambitious girl. Neighbours was just a stage, and Margot understood she needed to move on. So she began taking lessons from a specialist who helped her speak with an American accent, and Robbie went on to conquer Hollywood in 2011. The actress did not want to return so much that she asked the creators to kill her character. I was no longer as scared as in Melbourne, especially since I was no longer a 17-year-old girl. Here, the struggle for roles and endless castings continued, but Hollywood was in no hurry to accept the young actress. For example, Margot auditioned for the role of Abby Sampson in Charlie's Angels, but unsuccessfully. The producers preferred Rachel Taylor. Finally, luck smiled at Margot. Studio Sony Pictures Television drew attention to her and offered her a role in another project, Pan Am, with Christina Ricci and Kelly Garner. Even though the series was closed after the first season, people remembered flight attendant Laura Cameron. The role was Margot Robbie's ticket to the world of big cinema. The film About Time by Richard Curtis was her debut. The story was about romantic travels, and Robbie's appearance was most welcomed.
It's a lot nicer inside.
I'm sure it is.
A year later, the talent of the young Australian conquered Martin Scorsese, and then a radical change in her life awaited her. The famous director very carefully approached the issue of selecting actors. Therefore, his decision about the actress for the role of a beautiful blonde was a mystery. But Margot sent Scorsese a cassette of the monologue and came to Britain to celebrate the birthday of Queen Elizabeth II, since she did not expect to get the role in reality. But Ellen Lewis, the casting director of Scorsese, noticed her tape and liked Margot. And therefore, on June 3, 2012, Margot received a call from her manager who said that in a few hours they were waiting for her at an audition in New York with the director and Leonardo DiCaprio.
I walked in for the audition and Ellen Lewis, who was the casting director, "What are you wearing?" I was like, "My clothes?" She was like, no, honey. You're going to go downstairs, you're going to walk into Soho, you're going to buy the highest pair of heels you can find and the tightest dress, and then you're going to come back and do the audition." And I did. And I got the part. I rarely wear heels unless it's for like a work thing, so I probably would have they would have been thrown to the back of my cupboard after that audition.
There were a few people at the audition: Robbie, DiCaprio, Scorsese, and Lewis, who was filming. Leo, as usual, improvised, and the actress when suddenly the actress rolled her eyes out of habit, and Leo started shouting in response, "What does this look mean?" Margot was confused, not understanding whether it was a replica or his acting. "I understand that I failed everything, and Leo just acted for both of us. I just looked pathetic," she recalled. But then the actress still pulled herself together. When in one of the scenes, DiCaprio, after another family showdown, said, "You should feel happy you got a husband who's in such great shape like this, huh? Come here. Come on, give me a kiss." Robbie was not at a loss and slapped her on-screen husband in the face with the words, "F you." I knew I had 30 seconds to do something spectacular, or I would miss my chance forever. At that moment, the room became quiet. Margot recalled she thought she would be sued because she hit DiCaprio. Robbie was afraid that she would never be able to work again. But that act was one of the decisive ones. Martin and Leo suddenly started laughing. "It was wonderful," said the director. And he provided Margot with a role that opened her a clear path to Hollywood and helped her become one of the biggest movie stars. Scorsese later said he saw her as a combination of three legendary Hollywood dames: Ida Lupino for her emotional daring, Carole Lombard for her comedic ability, and Joan Crawford for her toughness. At the film premiere, the actress worried that her relatives would not appreciate the explicit scenes with her participation. So she decided not to invite her grandparents, but she walked the red carpet with her mother. The role of Jordan Belfort's wife earned her a Best Supporting Actress nomination from the Georgia Film Critics Association. Write in the comments what is your favorite role of Margot, and we will continue. After the release of The Wolf of Wall Street, Margot became famous. Offers rained down on her. She began to appear on the covers of glossy magazines and was at the top of the ratings of the sexiest Hollywood stars. Unfortunately, all the roles did not go beyond the image of the femme fatale. "I have a real aversion to being put in a box. I want to show them I'm the exact opposite," Margot says. "As soon as you have some success in one type of role, people want you to keep doing that thing, which I think would just be boring." Even then, she promised herself that she would act only with those directors who understand women and their psychology. "I was going to have to show people that I could do something different. I didn't want to get pigeonholed." In 2014, the romantic drama Sweet Fiancé was released. It was based on the novel of the same name by Irene Nemirovsky, where the actress got a minor role. I play a French peasant, and trust me, I looked revolting, Robbie recalled. The film received good reviews from the audience and earned 6 out of 10 points on the film critics' sites. The same year, the actress received the Empire Awards in the Best Female Newcomer category. On the set of Sweet Francais, the actress met assistant directors Tom Ackerley and Josie McNamara. They had the same opinion about the lack of good female roles, the ones that you want to star in, that the audience remembers. I remember saying, every time I pick up a script, I want to play the guy. Wouldn't it be so cool if people pick up scripts that we're making and always wanted to play the female role? On the eve of the premiere of Sweet Francais, the crew rented a large house in Clapham, London, to live together. So 5 people lived in a 3-bedroom house. That decision led to 2 fateful things in the life of the actress: her own business and a wedding. Robbie, Ackerley, McNamara, and Margot's childhood friend Sophia Kerr decided to start their own production company, calling it Lucky Chap Entertainment. The idea for the name came to them during a feast, already in drunkenness. As Robbie recalled, perhaps it is connected with Charlie Chaplin, but nobody really remembers. "We were too young and dumb to know how scary it would be," she says. The main goal of the production company was to create women's stories. Each of its projects had to involve a female story or a female storyteller. They also, says Ackerley, wanted to find the next generation of talent, while being on the right side of culture. According to Margot, no one believed that a company based on a kitchen bench in London was even capable of competing. "They're such idiots, it would be a miracle if they did anything," the actress recalls. But they were able to do a miracle. But a little later. Margot actively supports the Me Too movement. After the arrest of Harvey Weinstein, she was asked to speak out in support of women in the film industry. To prepare for the speech, Margot talked to different women: actresses, makeup artists, and camerawomen. The topic of harassment affects everyone. It is important to say about women of those professions, whose names are never indicated in capital letters on posters. Robbie continued to work hard, although not all of her decisions were successful. In 2015, viewers were able to admire the actress in 3 films at once: Z for Zachariah, The Big Shot, and Focus. The young star met Ryan Gosling, Christian Bale, and Will Smith on the set. For the role of Z for Zachariah, she refused to participate in the film Birdman, which was eventually recognized as one of the 10 best films of 2014 and won numerous awards, including the Oscar for Best Picture.
Good work. To work.
But Craig Zobel's apocalyptic thriller did not live up to expectations, grossing only $121,000.
You do dumb things when you're young.
Crime tragicomedy Focus, directed and written by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa, allowed Margot to work with Will Smith. The actress did not hope to get the role, and therefore, immediately after she sent her candidacy to the filmmakers, she left with her brother to Croatia on vacation. Before she had time to rest, Margot received a call and was asked to come to the studio.
He's f***ing with me, right?
Having packed her things in 20 minutes, she went by ferry to the airport, where she waited 6 hours for a flight to France, and from there, she had another 6 hours flight to New York. According to the law of meanness, luggage was lost on the road, and therefore Margot ran to the studio without makeup and ordinary clothes, but on time. However, Smith was very late for the audition, referring to the fact that he was driving from Queens. Margot could not remain silent, saying, "Yeah, well, I just came from an island off Croatia, and I'm here on time." The actress believed that she got the role thanks to that response. Will Smith described their cooperation. "The thing is, Margot knows exactly who she wants to be and what she wants to do. But that is not all. She also knows who you need to be and what you need to do." On set, Margot often said, "Wait a second, stop filming. Will, you need to play it like this." The actress had 3 more projects in 2016. Among them is the adventure blockbuster The Legend of Tarzan, where Alexander Skarsgård and Samuel L. Jackson became Robbie's filming partners. Emma Stone was also among the candidates for the role of Jane Porter, but Emma turned down the offer. Robbie and Skarsgård engaged in games and trust exercises during filming to establish a connection between the 2 main characters. But the difficulty arose differently. The actress had to interact with imaginary things and creatures during the filming, which were not in the studio, like monkeys, for example. Full-length cardboard mammals were made to make it easier for the actors. And during the love scene, David Yates told Margot Robbie to hit Alexander Skarsgård. The director said, "Sex with Tarzan cannot be sophisticated and exquisite, so I told Margot to hit him." The actress recalled, "We, indeed, at that moment were not Alexander and Margot, but Tarzan and Jane." Well, we cannot forget about the sensational Suicide Squad and Margot in the noticeable role of Harley Quinn, the Joker's mistress.
Oh, I can take it.
She had to learn how to hold her breath underwater for a long time and improve her aerial acrobatics skills to participate in the superhero film directed by David Ayer. According to Robbie, those shootings were not easy for her because the actress could not develop her creative potential and no one listened to her. And she didn't like the role of Harley at all. She's definitely one of the more unpredictable members of the squad, she said. But despite that, she played her role flawlessly.
What?
I had to learn how to do backflips and also how to handle pistols, sabers, and fireballs. But most importantly, I now know what to do with a bat. The actress revealed that they did not rehearse scenes with Jared Leto to make the relationship between her character and the Joker even more unpredictable and crazy.
What do you look for in a good script?
I want to be surprised, but also satisfied.
After its release, the film disappointed fans. It was accused of an inexpressive Joker, a confusing plot, and blurry character stories. But Harley Quinn won many hearts and turned out to be bright and daring.
Hello, baby.
The actress charmed most of the critics. Robbie, who displays the most thrilling superpower of all, turning into a movie star while having a gonzo blast swinging a baseball bat and tossing off naughty gum-snapping one-liners. Chris Nashawati wrote in Entertainment. The image of Harley brought Margot fame and a huge number of fans worldwide, and also secured the actress a contract with DC and filming as Crazy Harley for years to come. But it wasn't always good. I realized I was famous when I decided, as usual, to go out for ice cream between filming Suicide Squad. I was attacked by several dozen people with cameras and notebooks. The feeling was terrible. The guards had to pull me out of there. Standing apart is the minor role of BBC News correspondent Tanya Vanderpool in the biographical comedy Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. The film was directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa. The picture raises serious questions about a woman in a man's world, about finding herself, friends, and love. Margot got a minor but noticeable role of a young and inexperienced journalist.
I hate to even bring it up. I feel so rude even asking this.
No, it's fine.
Can I your security guys?
The following year, Simon Curtis's biographical drama Goodbye Christopher Robin was released. Margot got the lead role of Daphne Milne, the wife of the author of stories about Winnie the Pooh, Alan Milne. Her role could have remained a mere ad for a story about a writer's complex relationship with his son, but the actress managed to create a deep and ambiguous character.
I just keep thinking, such a terrible feeling. He's a boy.
One of the most striking and unusual roles of the actress to date was the image of the scandalous figure skater Tony Harding. The film I, Tanya, showed the real dramatic talent of the actress and showed that it is not necessary to dress up as a sexy blonde and use your beauty for a complex role.
When I walk in, I'm very aware of the fact that people see just a little blonde girl and they're like, oh, here we go, just a dumb blonde. Let's see what's going to happen. I just know that they're expecting nothing, and all I can do is impress them.
Steven Rogers' script was too daring for most companies to risk investing in it, and Robbie's young team, Lucky Chap, quickly used the opportunity. Robbie says, "They were like, you can't make that. You've got 200-something scenes, several locations, it's period. We read it and we're like, but it's just effing great. It's the best script ever, so who cares?" The film breaks the stereotypes of a sports drama, combining documentary parts, a thriller, a tragic comedy, and a criminal action. The story, based on the real life of the infamous athlete, is angry, sad, and ironic at the same time, but very dynamic and sincere. The film raises issues of feminism, albeit in a peculiar way, as well as psychological and physical violence.
But then he started hitting me a few months in.
In an interview, Robbie admitted that before filming, she met with the real Tanya Harding, who was very supportive. She was worried that the actress would get hurt while training and offered to teach her some techniques at the skating hall next to Tony's house, but the joint skating did not work out. Margot had to gain a few pounds to play the lead role. Every day, she also put on special pads to make her look more massive in the frame. In addition, she trained in ice skating.
I did probably 4 months of training, 5 days a week, a couple hours a day. I mean, right over Christmas and New Year's. Christmas Eve, I was like at the ice skating rink. It was at times kind of difficult. And now I actually really miss it.
Her skills were not enough, and athletes Anna Malkova and Heidi Munger were invited as understudies. but they could not repeat the triple axel that Tanya demonstrated. Therefore, visual effects had to be used to help. The film brought Margot her first Oscar nomination, and although the statuette went to Frances McDormand, the film received laudatory reviews from critics and audiences alike. It earned a 90% base rating of 225 reviews out of an average rating of 7.8 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes. In addition, it received a second-place audience award and 3 Oscar nominations.
And all those people who said I couldn't make it, well, fuck you, I did.
Playing Tanya Harding, the actress was able to shape the qualities that had defined most of her roles: extreme physicality, an overt defiance of cliché, and a willingness to subsume herself entirely in a character. In addition to Margot's success as an actress, the Oscar nomination was Lucky Chap's statement of ambition. The company and Robbie had certain things in common. Their sensibilities were unconventional, even wild. Both courted risk, and both saw infinite value and opportunity in what others had missed. Since then, the company has been actively involved in various projects, from films to television series and streaming. They have signed an agreement with Amazon Studios and are working on dozens of initiatives. But the company is still based on the original paradigm: support women and tell their stories. What the company looks for, according to its principles: material that is left of center, fresh, experimental. One such project was Emerald Fennell's Promising Young Woman, on which Lucky Chap worked. The drama about female revenge in the world of greedy and preoccupied men has become a kind of feminist manifesto and fits perfectly into the theme that Lucky Chap specializes in. Emerald Fennell was impressed by the collaboration with Margot and her company, calling the actress and her brainchild unique. It was entirely because of her and Lucky Chap's tenacity, brilliance, and single-mindedness that we were able to make the film in such an uncompromising way, she said in an interview. They're not pandering to Hollywood or anyone else. They stand behind you and don't care if it gets them into trouble. They never made me feel like a little girl. They believed in me and helped me. I felt safe with them, and in Hollywood, it's no small thing. Margot never really hid her lovers, but she skillfully managed to hide the details of these relationships. Her first known boyfriend was Matthew Thompson, with whom the actress attended elementary school. The couple dated before the girl moved to the United States, but after the breakup, they had a good relationship and met when she came to her homeland. But apparently, the young man is happy with any deal. In an interview with a local publication, the young man said, "Being the first love of a Hollywood starlet is cool." In Los Angeles, Margot dated a student named Mark for some time. We still don't know the reason for the breakup, but in 2012, the media began to actively discuss Robbie's affair with Leonardo DiCaprio. The New York Post reported that Hollywood's most desirable bachelor spent the night in the actress's flat, but the Wolf of Wall Street stars declined to comment on that information. Jealousy likely played an important role there. Another star suitor, according to the press, was Will Smith. An affair with him allegedly began after working together on the film Focus. The careless statement of the actress became the reason for such an assumption. At the audition, we had real chemistry. I'm sure it will be a lot of fun to shoot with him. The tabloids wrote that the famous actor even decided to divorce his wife for the sake of Margot. An interview with a certain witness added fuel to the fire. They said that the couple was at a photo booth and showed signs of attention to each other at one of the parties. After such publications, Margot Robbie officially stated that their romance existed only in the imagination of journalists, and Will Smith and Jada Pinkett changed their minds about getting divorced. The next man in Margot's heart was Henry Aitken, the art director she met on the set of Z for Zachariah. But the relationship lasted only during filming. As we mentioned earlier, on the set of the drama Suite Francais, the actress met Tom Ackerley, who was working as an assistant director. They became friends, living in the same hotel. They often talked and spent evenings together. According to Margot, it was she who took the first step. Our love arose imperceptibly. At first, we were just friends, and I could not even think that he could be in love with me. Later, I began to have feelings for him and took the first step myself. The funny thing is that I still have these feelings, and I consider him the most beautiful man in London. Soon the relationship led to a wedding, which took place in December 2016 in the homeland of the actress, in the Gold Coast Resort. The couple invited only close friends and relatives in the celebration. Therefore, now we know a little about the ceremony. Margot once joked that she would have married Tom faster if she had known he was an extra in one of the Harry Potter films. Margot has been a big Potter fan for years. Her love is so strong that, as a teenager, Margot spent one of her birthdays over a cup of tea and Harry Potter books.
I'm wearing glasses even though I don't need glasses. I lied to the optometrist because I wanted to have glasses like Harry Potter.
Margot Robbie and Tom Ackerley often appear together and openly show their feelings. They often visit Australia where they spend joint holidays. You can see photos of Margot Robbie's husband on Instagram where he is with friends and family, but you can hardly find family photos with a celebrity there. According to an interview with the actress, the biggest family trouble was the situation around the bunny rabbit, with whom Margot has been sleeping since childhood.
He waits until he thinks I'm asleep and then he throws Bunny out of bed.
No.
Yeah, and I get so mad. I'm like, don't you dare throw Bunny out of bed.
The things Bunny has seen.
Yeah.
To not miss our latest videos, click on the bell and subscribe to the channel. There are many more interesting things waiting for you. "2018 was marked by a not very successful period in the career of an actress. Terminal, a neo-noir dramatic thriller, gave Margot another lead role. The film production was associated with high expectations from the film itself and its director, Von Stein, for whom it was his directorial debut. Despite the excellent performance of the actress, Terminal was mercilessly criticized for everything possible: the plot, the narration, and the direction.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
The second unsuccessful experience was participation in the comedy horror film Slaughterhouse Rules. Critics didn't appreciate the work of Crispy and Mills. It also collected a little more than 4 points out of 10 on aggregator sites. Margot was not afraid to embody the image of Queen Elizabeth I, which we see in Josie Rourke's film Mary, Queen of Scots. She could vividly portray her character due to her acting skills and not because of her beauty. The story about the relationship of two cousins was based on a book by historian John Guy and was intended to shed new details on that historical period. According to sources, Margot did not really want to agree to the role, but Rourke convinced the actress to accept the offer, arguing that he saw her as Elizabeth. Every day, the actress put on makeup, which turned her into a woman with sparse red hair and not the most attractive appearance. Robbie's face was adorned with sores, scabs, and scars. Robbie said that while playing Queen Elizabeth, she felt very contained, both emotionally and physically.
Believe me when I tell you how it ages me to bear such a burden.
Critics accepted Mary, Queen of Scots ambiguously. Basically, the plot, the reliability of historical facts, and the sex scenes got under criticism. Emily Yoshida of New York Magazine's Vulture site called it a kind of nothing of a film. She also added that it's neither a rigorous history lesson nor a particularly interesting work of drama and character. Shane Watson of The Telegraph called it history porn for the Instagram generation. But at the same time, the film was nominated for several film awards, and Margot received nominations for the BAFTA Award and the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Robbie didn't lose her perseverance, and 2019 clearly showed that the girl was ready to conquer the Hollywood peaks. Dramatic thriller directed by Miles George Perrofit, Dreamland, launched in late April and had a limited release. After its worldwide release in the Tribeca Film Festival, it was in cinemas only in November 2020, and then the movie went to the video stores.
If that's the choice you make, and it is your choice to make, have no illusions of the consequences.
Critics' rating was average 6.1 out of 10, which is not bad for a film of this level, but basically the high mark was given by Margot, who received the lead role. A depressing story is made up for by the strong performance of Margot Robbie in the lead role, summed up the audience. Another dramatic role of that period was Kayla Pospisil, a Fox News employee who was sexually harassed by CEO Roger Ailes. Jay Roach's Bombshell was based on a true story from 2016 and follows 3 TV presenters teaming up to launch a campaign against their boss. Then the journalist Gabriel Sherman published a novel in which, among other things, he talked about Ailes' sexual harassment of an employee. In 2016, Gretchen Carlson and Megyn Kelly also went public with Ailes' harassment.
That's fine, Kayla.
The character of Margot was actually fictional, but Charlize Theron and Nicole Kidman played real eminent journalists Megyn Kelly and Gretchen Carlson. Basically, the film displays the events that started the #MeToo movement. In an interview, Robbie explained that she accepted the role because she did not fully understand the depth of the problem of sexual harassment at work. I realized that I, as a person with an established position in the industry, financially set up and self-sufficient, I didn't know the definition of sexual harassment, and that's shocking, she revealed. Roach described working with Robbie. She analyzes her scenes in such a nerdy way, knows every mark she wants to hit. She's an amazingly craft-oriented person to go with a big heart, soul, and incredible ability. Her script is marked and tabbed. The actress admitted that she was very meticulous in her work on the script.
I always have my script with me on set, and it's filled with notes. I know that seems like an obvious thing, but like my script is like, if I lost that, I would fall to pieces. Also, if anyone ever read my scripts, I'd be mortified because they're just full of embarrassing notes. I seem like a lunatic.
Appearing on wide screens in December 2019, the film received positive reviews, especially regarding the acting of Theron and Robbie. At the same time, critics were dissatisfied with the inconsistency of the script with real events. However, Bombshell was nominated for a Golden Globe, Satellite, and an Oscar, where Margot competed in the Best Supporting Actress category. In addition, Margot appeared in the TV series Dollface as Imelda. It was an expressive and unusual image for an actress.
She's ready.
An important new step in the actress's career was the collaboration with the cult director Quentin Tarantino in the comedy drama Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The girl remembered. Before filming, Brad Pitt told me that no other set would have as much fun as Tarantino's, and he was right. He does not follow the professional hierarchy at all. Quentin is friends with everyone. She got the role of the tragically famous Sharon Tate, who became a victim of hippie drug addicts in 1969. Despite her frequent appearances in the film, Robbie's character had few lines. Some fans began to accuse the director of sexism, and the actress answered, "But in the frame, I am most often alone. I won't talk to myself." It's also a great opportunity to honor Sharon's memory without words.
How did you prep to play Sharon Tate?
Lots of reading, watching all her films, spent time with people that knew her. And I always work with an acting coach, dialect coach, movement coach.
For her role as Sharon Tate in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Margot was nominated for a BAFTA award as a supporting actress. The sister of the deceased actress, Deborah, spoke very well about Margot after watching the film, noting that the actress is very similar to the prototype. She noted that while watching, it was like visiting a sister, and Margot breathed life into Sharon again. Perhaps the Tate jewelry which the relatives of the deceased gave Margot helped to portray the character. She recalled, "It was kind of sometimes very sad to be that closely connected with real-life Sharon. Suddenly the tragedy of it all would kind of hit you, and you'd be tremendously sad. It was immensely important for me to honor Sharon's generous spirit. I felt an enormous sense of responsibility." After its worldwide release in May 2019, the film grossed $374 million at the box office. The actress was nominated for several film awards, including the BAFTA Film Awards and the Hollywood Film Critics Association in the Best Supporting Actress category. Every year, Robbie is more and more confidently fixed among Hollywood stars. In 2017, Time magazine included her among the 100 most influential people in the world, and in 2019, she was ranked among the highest paid actresses in the world. In the next few years, Margot returned to the role of Harley Quinn. Birds of Prey was the first superhero movie directed by a woman. More specifically, Cathy Yan. Margot didn't stand aside either. She acted as a producer and actively participated in its development. One of the reasons she continued to work with projects like this is because she wants to bring more women into the action genre. "From a business or a statistical standpoint, those are the high-paying jobs," said Robbie. "So I really want to advocate for women writing big blockbuster action films. And then also, the perception that women aren't interested in action is ridiculous." In parallel with the filming of the second part of Suicide Squad, she was involved in the development of the film Gotham City Sirens, but the shooting was suspended. Last fall, information appeared that the project was still in the plans, and Margot hinted that she was not yet ready to part with Harley Quinn. "Whilst I was researching Harley, I started to read Birds of Prey, and first I fell in love with Huntress, and I started looking into all of that," Robbie told Nerdist, but the resumption of work on the project apparently is not yet expected. In addition to participating in films and TV shows, Margot is actively invited to other projects. In May 2016, Calvin Klein announced that Robbie would be the face of his Deep Euphoria fragrance. In 2017, Robbie starred in a commercial for Nissan electric vehicles. In February 2018, Robbie was announced as the brand ambassador for the luxury fashion brand Chanel. She was the last brand ambassador chosen by Karl Lagerfeld before his death in February 2019. The actress recalled with excitement a visit to the archives of the house and acquaintance with Lagerfeld. Coco Chanel was able to convey the spirit of her time, the emancipation of women. Karl Lagerfeld perfectly conveyed this spirit. Last December, I was lucky to attend the Chanel Matières d'Art Paris New York show at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It was incredible. I felt like Alice in Wonderland. Robbie later became the face of Chanel Gabrielle Chanel Essence. In 2018, the fashion website Net A Porter named her one of the most stylishly dressed women. But it is not just about the comics. 2022 delighted Margot fans with 2 films in the historical comedy genre,
Amsterdam.
and Babylon. In the work of director David Owen Russell, she got the role of Valerie Bonderberg, an eccentric nurse and part-time artist who creates her art from fragments extracted from wounds.
Oh, I'm doing my makeup. Oh, do I only have half a face? How did that happen?
Despite the scandalous veil around Russell's approach to working with actors, Margot not only managed to find a common language with him, but also to get creative freedom in working with the director. I've never been so involved just as an actress. I've never had a director so eager to hear my point of view during filming. During preparation for filming, the actress created several of her works, which were included in the final version. She admitted that because of the pandemic, she had a lot of time to work out the image of Valerie. In addition, she fell in love with him very much, especially in the way she just marches to the beat of her own drum. I started making a lot of art, she continued. Valerie kind of art. I had home in lockdown, and it was getting very bizarre. She's kooky and artistic and nuts. According to Robbie, the filming process was very dynamic and rarely stopped. Even the curfew did not be a problem for the director. So because of that, the film crew risked running into trouble with the local Pasadena police.
And the producers are freaking out, and David's still going, and Christian's still acting, and everyone. And then eventually, like, the Pasadena police literally were, like, in the set with us, all being like, stop, you have to stop.
The film became a box office failure and received mixed reviews from critics. It was found too ambitious and inconsistent, but was praised for the performance of the entire cast. Babylon became a more successful work. The brainchild of Damien Chazelle brought together such actors as Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Diego Calvo, John Smart, Giovanna Depo, and Lee Jun-lee on the set. According to the director, he created no-holds-barred, zero-rules climate with a lot of extreme behavior, and the role of Leroy is fully animalistic. He said, "I needed someone utterly fearless. I had a sense that she would attack him. There's this sort of ravenous physical bravado to her. On the other hand, she's also the most technically skilled thespian you could hope to work with as a director." There, the actress had to use her sexuality in the image of Nellie Leroy, who is trying to arrange her career in the golden era of Hollywood. Robbie admitted that Leroy was the closest character to her. "I've never worked that hard in my life," says Robbie of her role in Babylon. "I was shattered by the end of that job." The inspiration for the look was Clara Bow, a silent film icon and sex symbol of the 1920s. Her tragic childhood so impressed the actress that she transferred these experiences to Leroy.
But it was the most satisfying, like exhausting and satisfying kind of work.
One of the most beloved scenes for the actress was the scene of a brutal, intense fight between her character and Diego Calvo's character. During it, she accidentally broke a window and injured Calvo's ribs, and then the scene was cut from the film. One of the most exciting news that has spread in the media was a kiss between Margot and Brad Pitt. Moreover, according to the director, the close contact was initiated by the actress because it was not in the original script. "But I thought, when else am I going to get the chance to kiss Brad Pitt? I'm just going to go for it," Robbie said. Margot convinced Chazelle of the need for such a scene, and it was successfully added. After a successful first shot, Chazelle asked the actors to repeat the kiss.
We all did a lot of improvising. Damien really encouraged improvising.
We are sure that Pitt was not opposed to it. According to him, in the filming process, there was always time for character interpretation.
The most G-rated thing she does in this movie. That is the most boring thing she does in this movie.
Babylon was received ambiguously. The film has a score of 6.4 out of 10 on the aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes. The site's consensus reads, "Babylon's overwhelming muchness is exhausting, but much like the industry it honors, it's well acted. Well-crafted glitz and glamour can often be an effective distraction." Moreover, the film became a box office failure, earning only $50 million on a budget of $80. However, many agreed that Margot did an excellent job with the role of a charming, talented, and eccentric young star. Perhaps, at the moment, this is one of her best films. Margot was nominated for a Golden Globe in the Best Actress category. The way Robbie worked on the set proves that she is ready for almost anything for the role.
Cut. Hiya, I'm Nellie Leroy. So we going again?
So, during the filming of Babylon, the party scene required the actress to dance for 8 hours a day for 2 days. Diego Calvo recalled that when the scene ended, the entire crew, dancers, and musicians applauded her. She just gave everything she had. Everything's raw. She's a fearless actress. Robbie is not afraid to be naked in the film and does not consider it shameful. I don't really have a whole lot of modesty left, Robbie said with a laugh, then added that she could separate herself from her characters. I don't feel embarrassed when it's Nellie doing something. I'd feel embarrassed if it was me, but it's all her. At the same time, Robbie refused to star in Playboy despite the high fee. She got the offer after the release of The Wolf of Wall Street. According to her, the refusal was motivated by the fact that she was ready to be naked only for artistic purposes, which does not include photography for men's magazines. Margot had to make great physical efforts to play the role of Quinn for Harding. She said about her passion for exhausting roles, "I'm a masochist. It doesn't matter how complex the role is," Margot adds. "I can always find a fifth gear." In the summer of 2023, fans are expecting Margot in the romantic comedies Barbie and Asteroid City. A romantic comedy about a famous doll was in the production of Lucky Chap. It is directed and co-written by Greta Gerwig. The development of the picture began in 2014, but problems awaited it. Directors, screenwriters, and actresses for the lead role were constantly changing, and perhaps the idea would have been shelved if the film had not interested Robbie. She not only produced it, but also signed on for the lead role. According to Margot, Barbie called for turning all expectations. She invited Gerwig as director and co-writer along with Noah Baumbach. "It would be easy to make an obvious Barbie movie," Robbie said, "and anything that's easy to do probably isn't worth it." Greta described working with Robbie. "She is an actor who comes armed with every piece of preparation and every possibility explored." Even though Robbie was fully present as a producer for Barbie, Gerwig says that she was amazed by Robbie's ability to fully give over to being an actor at the same time. Robbie is also working on a prequel to Ocean's 11 in which she will star and produce. The well-known Jay Roach is going to be the film director, but the release date of the film is still kept in secret. Let's hope that Margot Robbie's career will delight us with bold projects and successful films for a long time to come. After all, the Hollywood sky is very changeable, and Jessica Alba will confirm this for you. How did it happen that one of the sexiest actresses of the 2000s ruined her career? Why do critics, frankly, dislike her? And what do we know about Alba now? Click on the video that appears on your screen and find out all the details. But don't forget to like our video. Biographer was with you. Bye-bye.